Graham, thanks very much for your time and ahead of your game up next. Can we just start first, please, with your team news, if you don't mind? I've got four names being given to me here: Lamptey, Connolly, Lallana and Welbeck. Are you able to bring us up to speed if any of these are likely to be back?
Yeah, Connolly has trained the last couple of days, so he's got a chance of being involved against Fulham. Adam as well has trained the last couple of days, so we'll see with him again a chance. Danny and Tariq, no, the game will come too soon for them. Okay, so that's obviously a boost for you that you could potentially have two of those in the shape of Connolly and Lallana in what's going to be a big game for you. Yeah, I don't think either of them will be ready to start the game, but it's always nice to have those type of players back with us. Adds to the group. So yeah, it's a plus for us. You go into it, Graham, in pretty good form as well. Some decent performances and results of late, and it's a game obviously that you'll be looking for maximum from them. I would suggest probably a bigger game for them than it is for you at this stage, just about. Well, no, I think all the games are big for everybody. That's the Premier League for you. Everybody wants to win. 3 points are really important. I'm sure it's the same for Scott and Fulham as it is for us. We're in a good moment, but you have to start again in the game. We've been through a tough period ourselves where we haven't won for a while, and it was nice to get that win against Leeds. Come through a really big week with Newport, Man City, Leeds. Man City, good performance. In fairness, as I've said before, we've performed quite well throughout the season, really. It's probably a game or so where we haven't. Leicester, I'm thinking, maybe a half against West Brom. Apart from that, our performances have been quite good. But the ultimate challenge is to turn the performances into points. And I think it's a little bit the same with Fulham. I think they've performed well. They've been a bit unlucky in some games and haven't won for a while, but you can see their performances are strong. So it's going to be a tough game. Just going on from what you say there, it sounds as though you feel that the results have been coming then, and that you've been due those recent results given performances over a longer period. Well, yeah, we've always felt that. That's what's given us that belief, and we've maintained that thought. Clearly, you have to keep trying to improve because you can't just wait for luck to come your way in the Premier League. You've got to keep trying to work and keep trying to get better and not be satisfied with what you've done. And clearly, when you haven't got the wins, you have to do that. But again, I repeat, the level, the league, the opposition, they've always got somebody that can hurt you. They've all got somebody that can affect you. Everyone's fighting for the same thing, which is points, and that's why every game is so important, so big, and so hard fought. Just a week left of the transfer window. Can I ask you just a couple on where you're at? Obviously, it's been a quiet window for everyone so far, and understandably so. Can I ask you about one player? There was a picture that emerged on social media, I think on Saturday, of him boarding a flight, which has been reported to come to the UK for him to join you. That's Moises Caicedo. I hope I've pronounced that right. Are you able to give us any steer as to where you are with that player? No, nothing. I can't give you any information. I haven't got anything to give you. It's just that time of year where there's all sorts of speculation flying around, and until everything's until a player's ours or until a player's left, there's nothing really for us to say. Could you confirm if he's a player you're interested in? Oh, we'd be here a long time if I was confirming all the players we're interested in. Yeah. Okay. But do you expect them between now and next week to be active in the window? I wouldn't say expect, but you never know. I think our job is to always be ready to try to adapt to whatever's happening, and if there's an opportunity to come that the club thinks is good for the club, and whether that's short term, medium term, long term, then yeah, we've got the responsibility to do something. But I'm happy with what we have, and the group is in a good place. Like I said, my job is to focus on those and to try to improve. Just one more from me. Some big news today in the Premier League that Frank Lampard has left Chelsea to be replaced by Thomas Tuchel. What have you made of that from the outside looking in? Well, firstly, sad to see a colleague and somebody I respect a lot lose the job. That's clear. It is part of football. It's not for us to say what football clubs should and shouldn't do. You understand when you're at this level that if results or things aren't the liking, then they have to act. So it's part of life, I suppose. But Frank Lampard's someone I respect a lot. I think he was of course a top player that's taken the step into coaching and management, and it's an uncomfortable step, I think, but he's had the courage to do it. I think he's always one of those people that looks to try to improve and learn from his experiences, and I'm sure he'll do that, and we'll see him back in football pretty soon. As with anybody, I wish Thomas well if he is appointed, and I wish him well, of course.
I mean, you're obviously a young manager yourself, like Frank. Is there ever a worry that if you get, a sacking at that stage in your career, it's difficult to come back from?
Well, I think somebody, it could have been Jose Mourinho or somebody with far more experience than me. I think it's part of the life as a manager. Everybody knows that at some point you'll receive that. Like I said, the people that own the clubs, they have a huge responsibility. So you have to respect that position and do your best. And if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But try and get as much as you can from the experience. Learn a lot from what you've had to go through, and then you're on to another challenge. That's life.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
I think I'll go next. Graham, just looking at Fulham again, of course, they've undergone personnel changes this season, but they've also changed their style and the way that they actually set up and play. And how tough a match are you expecting, given that they've improved defensively in the last couple of weeks and months, for your forwards in this match on Wednesday?
No, we're expecting a really difficult game. I think it's credit to Scott. I think he's done a fantastic job there because they have changed the playing style a little bit. Clearly, the role they have in games is different when you're trying to get promotion out of the Championship. I think he's looked at what their strengths are, what they need to focus on. I think they've made the changes, strengthened from the summer, strengthened from the start of the season. They play with obviously a back five now, and they can transition out of defence to attack very well. Some really good offensive players in Lookman, Loftus-Cheek in particular, and they've got a really organised unit behind them. So they're a team that I like a lot. I like what they do. They can pretty much do all the aspects of the game you need to do, and they're going to be a tough match, absolutely.
And what positives do you want to see from your team, and what can you take from the wins over Leeds and Blackpool in the last couple of games?
Well, I think you at this stage of the season, second half of the season, where you have to take everything that you've learned and experienced over the first part and put it into practice. For us to win games in the Premier League, we have to be at our maximum. We have to play well. We have to have a bit of luck, of course, because sometimes just playing well isn't enough. We have to be balanced in terms of how we're attacking and defending, because, as I say, the opposition have some real offensive threats on the transition, and at the same time they're really, really hard to break down defensively. So balance, I think, is key. But the attitude that I think the players have shown pretty much all season, we need to continue with, and then also to play with a positivity and a courage, because you won't get anything without that.
And how much motivation is there within the camp to get your first Premier League win of the season at the Amex Stadium as well?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Of course, we want to try to improve that home record. Away form has been really good, and last year, even the back part of last year, we didn't manage to get too many wins. But because our away form was good, we ended up with 41 points, which was a good return in the end. But I think anybody will say if they're winning the home games, everything becomes a little bit easier. So that's what we're trying to do. But again, you can see how the games have gone this year. The home advantage is less and less. You just have to try. You just have to keep fighting and understand that home or away, there's an opportunity to win, but it's also an opportunity to lose. And you have to have that respect of the opposition and the league. But we'll do our best to turn it round.
Thanks, Graham. Good luck for that game.
Thank you.
Hi there, Graham. Just in terms of the progress in the FA Cup, will that have any impact on possible departures in January, in terms of holding on to players just a little bit longer rather than letting them go?
I don't think so, Johnny. I don't think you can make those. They're quite longer-term decisions based on one game. I think we've got a squad now that we're comfortable with in terms of players that have indicated they need to get more game time. I think have had that possibility, and then we've still got players that are fighting to play and are able to provide competition, which you need over the next few weeks and months.
In terms of back-to-back wins, obviously a boost. Are you a believer in the word confidence? Is there such a thing that, people talk about it all the time? Is it just simply too simplistic to use one word to describe any kind of momentum you might get from 2 wins?
Yeah, I believe in confidence, but I also think it's quite simplistic to just say it's about that. But clearly, I think winning football matches helps, Johnny. It's certainly from my experience, it's not a disadvantage. I'll have more of them if I could. Certainly makes my weekends a bit more bearable. I think the good thing is that you can come through a really tough period because you get tested on all sorts of levels when you don't win, and you face, of course, criticism. You face feedback, you face doubt, you face all those things, and you have to stay strong as a group and stay strong as individuals, and that's why it's nice when you can come through that period. But you know that it's round the corner again, because that's the nature of the league. You have to keep fighting, keep trying to progress. And wins help that process, because it just gives people belief, confidence, all these words that sound easy and nice, but they give people that.
And in terms of Fulham, I know you mentioned some of the individual players that they've got, but they seem to have a lot of pace right across the pitch, don't they? That's maybe one of their biggest assets.
Yeah, physically very strong. I mean, they've got players that have played Champions League finals, Champions League semi-finals. Loftus-Cheek from Chelsea, Lookman on loan. They've added well, they've strengthened well. I think they're obviously suffering from the start they had, but I think the team now isn't really a representation of that start. Changed a lot. Credit to Scott. They've recognised what they need to do to be competitive in the league. Adapted the style a little bit, and without losing too much. They can still a lot of the things they did well in the Championship they can still do, but they've added different dimensions. So they're a team I respect a lot, I like a lot, and will be a tough game for us. But that's the Premier League. That's what we're here for.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Graham.
Thanks, Johnny.
Hi, Graham. Just in relation to this upcoming game against Fulham, the word branded a 6-pointer is used fairly often enough. But given the fixtures and given that you have Tottenham and Arsenal coming up, I know it's January, but is this really a 6-pointer?
No, as far as I know, you only get 3 for this one. But if we win, I'll take 6. Yeah, no problem. I think the point is it's. If you ask me, if you ask Scott, I'm sure we'll both say, yeah, we'd love to win, and 3 points would be fantastic for us. The reality is we've got another 50-odd points to play for in the Premier League, and nothing's finished. Certainly in January, you have to keep fighting, but I'm sure both teams want to win the game.
And Graham, just a quick word on the acquisition of Percy Tau. An exciting sort of a player, probably in the mould of a St. Maximum of Newcastle. What do you think he's going to bring you for the rest of the season in terms of that bit of flair and craft?
Yeah, different. I think I don't like to compare players. I think it's different in terms of how they do things. But Percy's got his own qualities, his own attributes. He plays in space well. As I said before, the important thing for us is to try to him settle in with us and get to know each other, and the more we understand him, the more he understands us, the better our relationship will be and the better he'll play. But he's another player that we're excited about and we're looking forward to working with.
Yeah, and I suppose, Graham, lastly for me, you mentioned there about not talking about incomings in the January transfer window, but in terms of sort of youngsters or players on the fringes of the squad, will there be, did you see many youngsters going out on loan before the end of the deadline?
Again, you know, you never know, but like I said before, I'm quite comfortable with the squad we have now. I think there's a good balance between youth and experience. We've got good competition for places, and at the same time, you know, good numbers that can deal with the fact that we're going to have a lot of games. So at the moment we're in a good place. So no major decisions yet.